In the early 20th century, the United States witnessed a religious controversy that encapsulated the theological problems that existed through many prior decades. The fundamentalist believers of Christianity argued for theological ideas such as biblical inerrancy, the divinity of God, and other more conservative and institutionalized religious beliefs. These strongly held beliefs by the fundamentalists put them at direct odds with the more progressive and liberal elements of Christian thought. The modernists believe in reconciling Christianity and its theological beliefs with the discoveries and arguments of modern scientific knowledge. The modernists also argue that the Bible could be interpreted more as metaphorical than divine truth. As both groups fought amongst each other in the fields of academia and public debate, the historical event that greatly fueled the differing sides was the Scopes trial of 1925. The Scopes trial, or the Scopes monkey trial, was a crucial legal case based in Dayton, Tennessee, that involved the controversial topic of teaching evolution and its arguments in public schools. This came at the same time that the state of Tennessee passed the Butler Act, which made it illegal to teach a theory or concept that contradicted the biblical teachings of evolution. John T. Scopes, a high school biology teacher, taught the idea of evolution to his students, and the American Civil Liberties Union, or the ACLU, wanted to challenge the arguments that evolution should and could not be taught in public school facilities. While this case was important, it may have been in the public eye for a small amount of time. The introduction of two towering figures in the legal field created a sensational situation in the courtrooms of Dayton, Tennessee. John Scopes' defense team consisted of Clarence Darrow, one of the most successful trial lawyers of the time period. The prosecuting team enlisted the assistance of William Jennings Bryan. William Jennings Bryan was a three-time failed Democratic presidential candidate that was a devout Christian who argued for biblical literalism and fundamentalism regularly. Once the case began, it became clear that rather than focusing on the specifics of the case surrounding John Scopes, the trial became the arena for the wider debate between fundamentalism and modernism in Christianity. When asked about the importance of the Scopes trial, William Jennings Bryan personified the ideas of the fundamentalist movement by responding, "If the evolutionary hypothesis is true, man has come up through animals below him by a cruel law under which the strong killed off the weak." Bryan would go on to ridicule the foundations of the case by arguing why these men would destroy the Bible on evidence that would not convict a habitual criminal of a misdemeanor. Bryan's arguments continuously brought up the potential absurdity of using a simple small bone found in a pit to completely revolutionize the way in which humans believed they were created. Clarence Darrow shrugged off the concerns of religious groups by arguing that the case did not put religious freedom on trial, but that the fundamental bedrock of liberty is tolerance. The potential punishment of John Scopes, if found guilty, was a misdemeanor with a fine anywhere from $100 to $500. While some may argue that the fine was minuscule in comparison to other fines, John Scopes said, quote, "That isn't very much, but it would be a lot to me." The case ended with the jury finding Scopes guilty of violating the Butler Act, and he was fined $100. The case would later be overturned by the Tennessee Supreme Court. While the modernists lost the immediate case, many modernists argue that it was a win for their beliefs because of the national attention that it acquired. Even though this battle was won by the fundamentalists, the two groups continued to debate throughout the coming decades. Thank you.